I wanted to share with you something that I'm hoping will offer an opportunity for you to think about something in your differentials that I doubt that you've either ever or often heard of. The condition is known as organic chemical hypertoxicity. And this is a case that presents it in a very graphic way, and I think it is worth looking at. It's about a woman who, in July of 2011, came into the clinic looking with a history of chronic psoriasis. Since she was 20, she was 62 years old. She had never had a day in that interval without psoriatic lesions scattered over her body. She had been treated by 8 different dermatologists. She'd been hospitalized 3 times during that time frame. And all of us at some time had used steroids to try to suppress the inflammatory process that's reflected in what she looked like when she came into the clinic that day. Her arms, her legs, her trunk all looked like this. And she said to me, "Doc," she's been in my practice for 14 years. And she said, "Doc, I'm done. I itch, I ache, I can't sleep. I'm absolutely miserable. I can't be anything to my husband, and I'm going to commit suicide." So I looked at her and I said, 4 years ago, we looked at some genetic markers that told us that you had difficulty clearing specifically the toxins associated with damp indoor environments and molds called mycotoxins. And I had suggested that you try to use agents like charcoal, clay, or polystyrene to try to pull some of these toxins out of the circulating fluids, because I believed that they were acting as the inflammagens. And she lasted 3 or 4 days and stopped. And she nodded and said, "Yeah, that's true." And I said, I still believe that that's the case. And I really, okay, I'll do clay. So she decided to do 2 teaspoons of clay in a quart of her favorite iced tea, 90 minutes after her morning doses of meds, vitamins, and supplements, and the same in the evening. She did not miss a dose, and she came back 3 weeks later. Not one lesion anywhere on her body. At this appointment, I noticed that she was wearing a wig, and I said, "You're wearing a wig. Why are you wearing a wig?" "Well, I wear a wig because I don't have any hair." I said, "Okay." She continued her treatment. She continued to come back every month. We surveyed her body, no lesions. She's continuing her treatment. And in 3 months, that's her hair. At Christmas time, it looked like that. Similarly, her fingernails were totally distorted, cracked, and crazed, and they had grown out normal. At this visit, she said to me, "Doc, I was taking clay for 3 years." And I looked at her and I said, "Why were you doing that?" "Because remember you told me." And I said, "Now you're having me totally confused. What's the difference between what you did then and what you're doing now? Because then it didn't do anything." Then I only took it once a day. It turns out that the toxins that I'm concerned about accumulate in people who can't clear them because they're missing cytochrome P450 enzymes to neutralize them. So they actually accumulate them their whole life. And they're stored in tissue, and they're stored in the fluids that bathe the tissues at an equilibrium point. The sequestrants pull that level down. When she only did it once a day, within 12 hours it's coming back up because the toxins are coming from her tissues. But when she did it twice a day, she got the level of the toxins low enough that the immune system, as sensitive as it is, could not detect them, and the inflammation ended. I'm just leaving you with this because it's opening up a whole discussion about learning the cause of our illnesses. the dermatologists, the rheumatologists, all of our specialists who are dealing with inflammatory disease and not asking where they're coming from are using seriously immune suppressive agents that are extremely harmful and often extremely expensive. The charcoal we give costs $15 a month. Thank you.